All right. Hello, hello. I am super excited that we're back on this platform. I'm here beside some amazing and great women that are just doing dynamic things in business and of women of great influence. That being said, my name is Sunshine Fullerminder. I'm the CEO and founder of Market Her Brand, a women global organization that empowers, elevate, educates, and equip women in business and in life. Here we provide speaking platform events in person and virtual for women entrepreneurs to expose their business, their brand, and most of all, expose what they're passionate about. I am super excited about the 100 Women in Business Global Tour. This tour is about to come to an end in December, and these great, amazing women have been able to come onto a platform to really be able to share about their passion and to give us the tools and resources to get to the next level. So, what does that mean? You're about to experience it once again. So, if you get your notepads, your pen, your cell phones, your tablets, whatever you use as a note taking device, you are definitely in for a treat. Without further ado, I am going to pass the mic over to our first speaker for today. Her name is Yvette Phillips, a great woman that I've known for so many years, and she is here to be able to empower you with some great resource and tools so you can get to the next level. If you're ready to go, just say with me, next level, here we come. Without further ado, I pass the mic over to you, Yvette.
Thank you so much, Sunshine. Hello, everyone. It is indeed a pleasure to be part of this blessed event once again. Thank you, Sunshine and team, for allowing me the opportunity to be here among such inspiring and blessed speakers. My name is Yvette Phillips. I am first and foremost a mother, a blogger, author, educator, and an entrepreneur. And I am honored to have this opportunity to share another part of my journey with you. Tonight, we will be talking about purpose. What is your purpose? And what do you think it means when this question is asked? This question has baffled and confused many people for a long time because its meaning seems often unclear. However, according to research, people have different purposes, and apparently there are multiple correct answers to this question. We are placed on this earth for many different reasons, and occasionally a person does not recognize his or her purpose in their lifetime. The funny thing about that is that they may have lived their purpose or is living their purpose, but do not realize it. Our purpose may be right in front of us, but we do not think too much of it or we think too little of it. So we ignore it and it becomes a missed opportunity. The purpose of life is subjective and it differs from person to person. Therefore, we should not be envious of what others are doing or has achieved, as their pursuit may not align with our calling, right? They may be on their way fulfilling their purposeful journey. Matthew 6:33 says, "But seek first God's kingdom and his righteousness, and all other things will be added unto you." When I got laid off from my job of 17 years in 2016, it caused me to reflect and ask myself about the plans I had for my life. I did not know that I was about to walk into my purpose, God's purpose for my life. I launched my e-commerce business. I wrote and published my first book, and I started a whole new career in education. I went back to college, got my degree in English, and graduated summa cum laude. And I am 1 year away from completing my master's in education. God revealed my purpose, and he has been ordering my steps every move I make. Psalm 119 verse 133 says, "Direct my footsteps according to your word, and let no sin rule over me." all I can say is God has never failed me, and I know He never will. What are you focused on? Are you watching what others are doing and achieving, but have not yet started on your journey? Yes, at times we are discouraged, but it is during these moments that we need to pray and seek God's guidance, because we cannot do it on our own. One of the toughest times that we all experienced was during the period of 2020, when COVID-19 was in full effect. So many lives were lost. So many of us lost our family members that year, including myself. I lost my husband. So I know that it was one of the toughest periods that I ever experienced. I could have given up, but that year I listened to what the Lord had to say to me, and it turned out to be my most productive year. I experienced God's revealing to me what my purpose was, and I was obedient to His voice. Luke 11:28 says, "Blessed are those who hear the word of God and obey it." That still small voice is there speaking to us, but sometimes we ignore it. It may be difficult for everyone to find his or her purpose without the help of a life coach or a counselor. Sometimes the most powerful journey begins not with a step outwards or a step forward, but a step inward. Look within yourself and discover what you are passionate about. Reflect on your values and your interests. Identify the things you care about the most. Reflect on the activities that you are passionate about and what makes you feel fulfilled. Is it your writing? Are you a good leader? Do you have a business plan that's waiting to get birth? Experiment with new things. Don't be afraid to try out new things, not just out of curiosity, but to grow. They can help you discover what you like and what you don't like. They can also help you to identify your strengths and your weaknesses. Use this opportunity to step out of your comfort zone, even though you may feel uncomfortable. This will help you to uncover your passions and clarify your purpose. If you stumble along the way, that's okay, because every challenge teaches resilience and reveal areas in which you can grow. Practice gratitude. This is more than saying thank you. This can help you to focus on the positive aspects of your life and help you weed out the negative thoughts and actions. It will reveal to you how to appreciate the things you already possess, right? When we intentionally notice the good things in our lives, whether it's a kind word, a warm meal, or a moment of peace, we begin to train our minds to see abundance rather than lack. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It reminds us that even in uncertainty, there is beauty. Even in challenge, there is growth. And every day, there is something worth honoring. Help others, right? It is such a fulfilling feeling when you help others. It can give you a sense of purpose and fulfillment. It is one of the most powerful ways to connect with your purpose, whether it's offering a listening ear, lending a hand, or simply showing up with kindness. These acts of service go far beyond the moment. They remind us that we are part of something bigger and that our actions matter. Helping others doesn't require perfection. It requires patience, your presence, and in those moments of giving, we often receive something greater, a sense of meaning, connection, and joy that no achievement alone can provide. So lean into generosity. That's where purpose lives. Even a small gesture can make a big change, not just in someone else's life, but in our own. Reflect on your life experiences. This is one of the most important pieces. When you reflect on your past experiences, it can help you to identify what you have learned and how you have grown. It can help you identify your strengths and your weaknesses and help you to find your purpose. By reflecting, we start to see patterns, the kind of challenges that stretch us, the environments where we live, and the values that guide our decisions. We recognize our strengths like resilience, empathy, or creativity, and we also notice where we struggled or still need growth, right? The honest self-awareness is the foundation of purpose. When you reflect with intention, you don't just revisit your journey, you realign with your calling. Let me tell you, be patient in your seeking because it will not happen overnight. Remember that finding your purpose is a journey and not a destination. It will take time and effort. So you need to be intentional in your seeking. When you are praying for guidance, be specific always about what you're asking. When you take charge of your health and well-being, it can help to motivate you and give you more energy to seek, discover, and identify what your purpose is, who you were called to be. And that goes for all of us. It is absolutely important to identify our purpose, but we should not allow ourselves to feel discouraged if it takes us a while to do so, because everyone matures at a different pace. So discoveries will happen at different times. When I reflect on all that has happened since my husband's passing, both financially and emotionally, I'm in awe of how amazing and faithful God has been to me. Still, I'm reminded that when we think that all is lost or that we won't be able to make it to the next day, God shows up. He is truly an on-time God. And that is something that we should always remember. Nothing happens before the time. Thank you so much, Sunshine, for having me on this platform to share what I think purpose is all about.
Just powerful. Oh my goodness, just powerful. Thank you so much, Yvette, for definitely sharing with us how to identify purpose and what ways we can be able to connect and be able to utilize purpose in our lives. So that's something I know that I didn't realize my purpose till I was 30 years old. And so that being said, I can imagine, a lot of people may not still know their purpose.
Yeah.
But you're totally right. But you given those different ways that of what you can do while you're still trying to identify what that purpose that you were created on earth to do is this. I think it's going to help a lot of people. I wish I had it when I was, going through my journey. But
yes, absolutely.
But
yes.
I love that you gave those steps. How can people get in contact with you? How can they even get a copy of those steps, or either be able to talk to you to be able to navigate through all those steps?
So I'm going to post this in a blog on my website. And I am at Paddy Mart, PADYMART, at Patty Mart on Instagram. You can easily get in touch with me there. I transitioned from Shopify onto Monlatic platform. I will place that link onto my Instagram website. I still need to announce that. And I'm also on Facebook at Author Phillips, Author Y Phillips, and my email pattymart@gmail.com or info@pattymart.com. They can easily get in touch with me.
Awesome. Well, before you leave the platform and we pass the mic over to our next speaker, Joy, can you tell me what would, out of everything you said, what would be some last, just a takeaway that you want people to capture from all what you said?
A takeaway that I would love people to capture is this. Everything does not happen at the same time. Do not rush. If you feel rushed when you're doing anything, pause. Because when you rush, it never turns out okay, because you're thinking with, oh, I need to do this because of, but why are you rushing? Everything takes time. So pause, think about what, and pray. Don't ever forget to pray. Pray through and be intentional with prayer.
There you have it. There you have it. Well, thank you again, Coach. I'm used to calling you Coach Yvette. So thank you again, Coach Yvette Phillips, for definitely sharing these great words of wisdom and giving us the tools that we need as we go through our journey with purpose. Well, if y'all are loving this same topic, I'm super excited that there's more. So without further ado, we're going to pass the mic over to no other than Joy O. Young.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we
Great,
can.
great. When I was listening to Yvette, I was a little concerned that I might have to change some things, but she made me very aware of the fact that we all have our different stories of purpose and our different reasons for purpose. And I kind of touched upon it when I spoke in October. Um, I've always felt I had a purpose. I was a woman in the 70s. We weren't allowed to do things. I became the first ship fitter, putting the hull of the Trident submarine together. Why? Because they weren't allowing us. My boss said, I got rid of better men than you. Go ahead and see if you could be on my. I fought it and I made it, and I ended up being a foreman. I went on from there to become a captain because there weren't many women out there that were driving yachts around the world. It was a man's job. And I saw a lot of that when I pulled up to a dock in Manhasset Marina in Long Island, where no one would come and take my dock lines. Why? Because they wanted to see a woman mess up. And instead of hitting the dock, my boat literally kissed the dock and I pulled away. So I was always felt like I needed to do more for the women. And from there, I went on to a different purpose with my daughter being in theater. And a lot of kids were going through different changes in their life. And they would end out at my house, and I would take them in. A lot of the children were of the Latino or African American descent. They were in theater and they were gay, and their parents were very religious, so they were kicked out of their home and became my children. So I found that I didn't even know it was my purpose, but I felt like I was doing something. I mean, my brother had hid it all his life, and I was not aware till he died. um, and God gave me this purpose, is to let all human beings be all human beings. And I didn't realize it was my purpose until my husband died. He was the one that allowed me to do this. And he died of cancer. And shortly after that, we lost the house. And that's when I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? All these kids, I have so many kids to help out. Well, it's not something that everybody approve of, but to me, it wasn't a matter of sexuality or sexual orientation. It was a matter of, you are a human being and needed to be treated like a human being. So from there, I would say I went on to become an inventor. I have 2 medical patents right now that make it possible for anyone to care for their loved ones and keep them out of the nursing home, and to keep our landfills out of the plastics that they use to maneuver patients. Now, when I shared last October, I told a story that sounded a wee bit outlandish. I have done Airbnb here in my house, and I went out of town and I came back, and this lady named Maria Magdalena was in my home. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, this is going to be interesting. I won't tell you where I came from. I went up north to Florida. I'll tell you. I went up to North Florida to the place where the witches live. I was just curious. I didn't know, but I came home and Maria Magdalena said to me, Joy, that is very bad that you went there, but God told me that I am here to help you. Now, I'm trying to figure out how am I going to, I've used my entire savings to get 2 medical patents. So I have a patient maneuvering device, and I'm the only one that has a patent for a diapering kit. This makes it easy. You can tidy up a person in a matter of seconds without making waste. Now, when someone passes away, and we have 2,920,000 deaths annually, a month's supply of all of this stuff goes in the landfill. What I'm trying to do is now you have 6 pretty packages or 5 pretty packages in your bedroom. It doesn't look like sick. It looks like healthy. So Maria Magdalena saw that. She saw the plastic I was keeping out of the landfills. The other one dropped, so I'm not going to bother picking it up. And what I created here, you could maneuver someone that's amputee or sit them up. And with this one, you can do everything from water rescue to maneuvering someone in a bed. And this is military grade. I've got it ready for, that way, to put emblems on so you could use it in any fire truck. I discovered that with visiting angels that it caused a little tearing to someone's skin because they were thin skinned. So I made this that you can slide over it, and it's all flannel, soft and cuddly. But back to my story of Maria Magdalena and how she said she needed to help me because I was bad. I don't even know the name of the town anymore, but she gifted me money for my business. She gifted me $5,000. She also gifted me a commercial, and she gifted me this. Now, why have I pulled this out in front of you? Because as I started this and saying my story was just a wee bit outlandish, her signature, Maria Magdalena, is right there. And maybe I might have to send Sunshine a picture of this because I don't know if it comes out backwards. But there's my purpose. I was ready to give up. And God said, I'm sending Maria Magdalena your way. And I'm thinking, I'm not even that religious. I mean, I've kind of been a questioner for quite some time. But when I was in the middle of the ocean and a 30-foot wave was coming over me, you know who I was praying to. So it was never that he was in my back pocket. He was always with me every day of my life for everything that I ever experienced. And what I've learned is those of us that are a little bit invisible, we're meant to be here. We're meant to be here because we have a purpose too. And whether it's just to shine our light. I spent a week or two ago, about a week or two ago, I was up in Washington, D.C., walking the halls. I was shining my light down those hallways. I'll tell you what, I was like, I'm here and I'm bright, and I'm going to just make everything here bright. We left there discovering that we're passing a new bill to protect intellectual property. And I've had a lot of people say to me, Joy, you're awful slow on your sales here. Well, to be honest with you, I didn't feel protected. I did not feel like I wanted to even do any more patents at this time. I was getting to the point where it was like my other ideas, I'm just going to keep them in my head. I'm not going to go pay any more money. Now, my purpose was slowing down. having patience, all in God's time. Now that I have held off, and I went and talked to a guy at the U.S. Patent and Trade Office the other week too, and he said, you know, Joy, I didn't even sell my first wedge until I was 10 years in. And I went, oh God, that makes me feel so much better. I mean, I've sold. People see the benefits, but I still looking to set up a team to help people. This is about saving your back, where you don't have to take pain pills because of your job. When I did the Forbes Rally event, which I found out I will get the film of that, the wife of actor Scott Valentine, who I had maneuvered with my maneuvering device with one hand, the actor's wife started crying on the stage saying, oh my God, Joy, if they had what you had, I would still be in nursing. That's all I wanted to hear. You know, it's not about sales. It's about who can you help, you know, service, taking in those kids. That was service. You know, I've got a gal that she was in a very bad life threatening situation in Michigan. I spent every day on the phone with her. Service, not expecting anything, just being there for that one soul, like all those kids that I was there, that I just listened until they loved themselves. And they're all successful now. They've all gotten careers. Oh, and so did I. I went to college last year. In my 50s, I said, I'll never go to college. I'm too old for that. Well, I won Grow Biz at 26 West, which gave me a year's education in business, which is all in God's time because I had no clue about business. And there's some things that I've had to, I want to say, grow. And one of them was discernment. Because had I done this when I thought that it was supposed to be done, I wouldn't have anything right now. I didn't understand why I was not getting anywhere. And then all of a sudden, it's like, and my other story that I like to share is, look at my name for a second. My mom was pretty clever. My name and my initials, same thing. Same thing. I'm out here to shine my light, even at 69 years old. I'm out here to show others that we have something to do, even at our age, my age, you know? I mean, most people my age are there in their rocking chair. No, I'm ready to launch 3 more patents. Just give me the money to do it. You know, I'm going to make people sail on boats better because they'll have my boat hook. I've got a patient stability device that can not only be used on land, on sea, but also up there. We're starting to set up Mars or whatever. You know, I don't know how their gravity is, but even when you're at a space station, what I have can attach a person and keep them from floating away. Or, you know, if you're trying to work in the galley on a boat and the boat's rocking like this, you can attach yourself. I originally made it for senior citizens that fall in the kitchen and the bathroom. Who knew it was going to go to the moon? Me. But, you know, there's just a lot of things that are happening in our lives that if you don't give up, there's so much more out there. There's so much more out there. And they said the meek will inherit the earth. Guess what? We are here and we will be inheriting the earth. I mean, how much better can it be? I hope that filled in a little bit of my story. And if anyone needs a patient maneuvering device or incontinent care kit, please look me up. Joy's Medical Concepts. That's JOYZ, like zebra, medical.com. And I am really appreciative to be here and to listen to these great stories. I mean, Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this.
Oh, we're so wow, I'm so speechless. I love every time I hear you speak, Joy. It comes directly um, from inward, what you share, and I think you touch so many people, and it can relate to exactly what you're saying. Um, I love how you were able to take in all those kids, how to transform them in your journey, and being able to just go to the next step and invent these things to help a lot of people. I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to be it's going to help a lot of people to do what they love to do and do it more comfortable and safe. So I just want to commend you for not stopping in your journey and having such a passion, inspiration to even do more. I'm going to give Coach Yvette a time to be able to respond as well. I don't know if she's on the go.
Yes. Joy, you know, when I listen to you talk about being patient, and I think that is so important with whatever you're doing. And you talk about, you know, at your age, and I'm thinking, hey, I'm there with you. What are you talking about? You know,
You're a
you're
decade away,
never,
honey.
you're never too old. I'm saying once there is life, there is hope. And you give me so much hope just to know that I have a long way to go to get to where you are. And I'm praying that with your patent, you will be so successful that you won't even have hands to manufacture and to distribute all that you need to. May God bless you.
Thank you so very much.
Um,
And
I
Yvette, I loved everything you shared as well.
Oh, thank you so much.
You are so young still, and I could say that because I'm going to be 70 in July. So you're almost a decade behind me, but you have the growth that most people don't have. Do you know what
Ah,
I'm
thank you
saying?
so
And
much.
I can imagine when you're 70 or tipping to that point, I want to meet you again. I want to hear
Ah,
you again. I do. I mean, even next year, I'll hear you again.
yes, I hope we do. Right, Sunshine?
Oh yeah, most
Yes.
definitely, most definitely. We're
Thank
gonna
you,
really have
ladies.
a ball. One thing, it's so funny when y'all were talking. You know, I was just reflecting on the journey. You know, from the beginning to the end, and how when you're going through the journey of purpose, you know, even though we call it business, you know, there's so many opportunities to stop what you're doing, to change it up and do something different. And you know, it just amazes me, you know, that if you stick with it, you know, and just trust God, you know, beyond trusting the purpose, just trust God and trust
Mhm.
His timing and His plan. You know, I look at all the women that came through the organization, how many people have met each other, you know. I just say to a point that you don't have to understand everything. You just
Right.
have to do what you said, be of service. And you're totally right. By being of service and by trusting God and by just showing up, you know, and God, and you know, and I know y'all probably can relate, but when God has a call on your life and you're the person for that job, the fact is that He's not going to let you be at ease, you know, until you actually get it done, you know. And when I look at all you amazing women and y'all journeys and y'all purpose and you know what God is just doing in and through y'all, and just to be able to meet y'all. And I don't know if people know, but our organization is truly global. Everybody's in different states, and now some people are in different countries. So it will be so excited when we all do come together to really be able to connect with one another. People listen to the broadcast. I just want you to know that this is a true indication that there's something great inside of you that actually can really be of service or a blessing to so many people. I think one thing I've learned in doing in this journey of purpose is that what God has is for you, but it blesses so many people with what you do. So anytime you feel scared, nervous, unqualified, asking God, why me? You always got to remember that at the end of the day, the people that we're meant to serve, the places that we're meant to go, the things that we're meant to do won't be done unless you do it. Because no one, I don't care how many people do what you do, no one can show up to do what you do but you, the way you do what you do. And that by itself puts you in a whole line by yourself. You are that brand, you know? So no matter, you are that brand. And I think the fact is that we're forever working to see ourselves in the way God sees us. And so, that being said, I just want to let you know that we are all a work in progress. And it's okay to show up with what you have, because for every level that you're in, you have what you need. And it's so ironic because a lot of us stop because we think we need more. But one thing I've learned, that you have everything you need for everything that God has called you to do. Now, this is my challenge to the people that are listening, and even people on broadcast. Take time to make that list of who's around you, the things you have, the places you have around you. Because when you have that mindset that in this season I have everything I need, then you'll be amazed. The very thing you're asking for, you already have it. You just have to be able to connect to it. So I am super excited for us to know one another. If you're not part of a network, take time to connect with one of these entrepreneurs on the platform. They are part of networks. Everybody in this organization is part of some network. Even you yourself, you may not even know that you have a network, but guess what? We'll help you discover that you're part of a network. And network just means there's like-minded people that are coming together that want to see each other succeed. That's the best positive network you want to be part of. So without further ado, I want to you to take Joy time to let us know what are some takeaways that you feel that we could take away from your entire journey, because I know it's so full.
Some takeaways from my journey is well, by my door I have Winston Churchill's card that says never, never, never give up. So every time I walk out of my room, I see that. I liked what you were saying about the abundance, that believing that we are already what all we need to be. I think that's very important because we're not taught to be everything that we need to be. We are taught everything that's wrong.
Yeah.
And it's time for people's eyes to open and their minds to clear and realize that we are all very special. We are all one. And once we realize that we are all one with God, we could be so amazing. And that's where I'm trying to live. I also wanted to mention real quick, when the first night Sunshine got in touch with me for this, I was watching something, and on it said that God said you are going to have invitations to places that you never thought you would be, and people that you never thought you were going to be around. And all of a sudden, I had already set my phone in the other room. I'm done with it. I walked out there, and what was it? Little Miss Sunshine contacting me saying, would you be one of my speakers? So what does that say? That says that a lot is going on the outside. When you put it out yourself, you carry it back in. I think that probably would be my take. Thanks.
Yvette, I'll let you going to respond.
You know what I wanted to say to Joy? At the beginning of your speech, when you talked about working on that boat, your perseverance and your resilience was such an encouragement. They thought you could not do it, but you showed them that you could and you excelled at it. And I'm thinking, when I was growing up, I grew up in a very poor family. And a lot of people thought that I wouldn't make it. There was just no confidence. And I think because of that, that gave me the
Oh, yeah.
urge, the energy to prove everybody wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I can do this with God. All
Mm-hmm.
things are possible. And I lead by that every day. Sometimes I always say people see me jumping and dancing and singing like I'm crazy. It's because I know where I'm coming from. It's because I know what I've been through. It's because I know my journey, what my journey was. It's because I know where I'm going. It's because I know that I will succeed because God has everything under control. And I will forever be like this. Someone at my church the other day said to me, she was going in, I was greeting and she was going in. She turned her back and she said, you know what? I look at you and you're always so happy. And I say, yes, I'm happy because God is good. It's not that everything is okay and I'm where I already want to be. No, but I'm on this journey with God, ordering my footsteps in his word. And I know that he will continue to provide for me every day. Sometimes when God provides for me, I laugh. I'm like, God, you did it again. You know, it's like God is just amazing. And I will always say that we should always listen to his voice and not try to do anything on our own, because that's not what we were made to do or who we were made to be. We were made to travel the pathway that God has in store for us. And I could keep going, Sunshine, but
No, I love it. It's so funny when you were talking. This came to my mind. It's so funny while you
We're
were
just gonna
talking.
have
This
to
came
put
to my mind.
her and I on the next one together.
Yeah, this came to my mind that sometimes our procrastination is sometimes God preparation. And we're thinking we're procrastinating, but really God is preparing us for the next step. And it's just amazing because God's timing. I think one of you were saying that it's not our timing. And so there's some equipping that is necessary within us and some equipping that's necessary within the purpose. And then there's some equipping that's necessary with the people, places, and things that are connected to what we're doing. And so sometimes all of that needs to work together and happen. And sometimes it takes time. And that being said, it goes back to, I think, Joy, you were saying, don't rush. And I think you were also saying that too, Yvette,
Yes.
yeah, you were saying that. If you can you repeat it? I just, I think it's for people
And
to hear it again, that part.
Yes.
Rejection is
Don't rush.
redirection.
Don't rush. No matter what you're doing, take your time because it is God's plan for you. God's plan. You see, it is important. So we need to be patient because things do not happen overnight. Remember that God, one second. Remember that finding your purpose is a journey, not a destination. It will take time and effort. So you need to be intentional in your seeking when you're praying for guidance and be specific about what you're praying for.
Yeah. And I think one thing I can truly say, and Coach Tony, Coach Tanya, she's online. And one thing about it is, it's just amazing. I know, like, Joy and Coach Yvette, I think you could relate to this. The purpose is bigger than you. And it usually will grow faster than you. And it's all intentional because there's so many people, places, and things that are supposed to connect with it. That's why we have to really take time to think kingdom like, because I've never seen a kingdom with one person. So that allows us to take ourselves out of the equation and realize that with God, all things are possible. And most of all, we need one another in order to get to the next level. And I think the best thing about it is when you were talking, Joy, about your patents and where it needs to be, is identifying where it needs to be and being able to take time to connect with those people, places, and things so they can know they need it. It's our job, I think, as entrepreneurs to be problem solvers, but to go to where the problem is and give them the solution. We cannot assume that they'll come to us. But what motivates and drives a lot of entrepreneurs to show up every single day, because I know a lot of people probably are curious about that, is because we really can't sleep. We can't sleep knowing that in a day there's so many people, places, and things need what we have. And sometimes you think that we just show up because we want to. No, a lot of us just show up because we have to.
We
It's a
have
call
to.
and a duty on our lives. You know, it's the reason why we breathe each day, because as a matter of fact, we are called to do this. We're purposely designed to do this. So I just want to tell you, as you're listening to the broadcast, as you're connecting with women, all these women, I mean, all of us, and this, the network is big. You know, we all are very like-minded. And think about, how does that happen? How do you get like-minded women that really care about each other being empowered? They really care about other people, that love what they do, but they also love who they do it for. It's because, matter of fact, whenever you put God first in anything you do, then he will draw the people, places, and things that are connected to what you do. These are just biblical principles that you can read in the Bible to be able. So when we're walking by purpose, we have our business plan, of course, but the best business plan we can have is the Bible. It's amazing. It is the manual to purpose. So that being said, I am super excited that God picked this great, amazing topic with some great, amazing entrepreneurs as far as yourselves to come onto this platform. Yvette, you do a lot. You have a lot of products for kids. If you can share about that really quick.
So I have my books. This is the Tale of Princess Alicia. This is the activity book. And this is the chapter book. And I have my doll, Princess Alicia. Right? And I have my backpacks. And these are all my designs. These are some of my products. And the rest of my products you can see online at paddymart.com/Monlatic. And yeah.
There you go. Joy, I told you she had a little secret back there.
I am still designing and creating because, you know, it never stops. And I wanted to say too is that tonight God was so intentional because Joy and I never collaborated on our topic, and we both had the same message tonight about purpose. And just God is just amazing. You know, when I think about it. Yeah. Purpose, our purpose. What is our purpose? You know, and I think somehow I'm still discovering as I go along because God is not done with me yet.
I love it. I love it. God is not done with me yet. We're Joy, did you have anything else you needed to say before I end the broadcast?
Well, if anyone is interested in starting their own little side business around the country, I'm going to be setting sales people up around the country to go out and save bags and save the landfill. If you're interested in my products, it's JOYZ, like a zebra, medical.com. And I just have the diapering kit, which I'm getting ready to launch now that our patents are being protected. And the patient maneuvering device, you can maneuver up to a 350-pound person with one hand without any strain to your body. Now, why wouldn't you want something like that? If the reason you're putting your mom in the nursing home is because you can't move her, you don't have to have that excuse anymore. Now, what do you do? and you don't have to have pain pills, because with one hand you reach across and the centrifugal force of the inertia brings them on their side, and then you tidy them up with the other product in a matter of seconds. I had one lady that she had used it during the hurricane, and she said, Joy, with the flashlights and the candles, I was able to take care of my husband, and my house never stunk. We weren't able to get out of the house for 2 days. When you're in a hurricane, you're locked in. You know, that house is secure, and you don't open the doors for a couple days. And so not only am I resolving that pain point, I'm also resolving the mess that goes in our landfill. Let's protect Mother Earth. God wants us to do that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. One of the Coach Tanya Smith in our comments said, when listening to God's guidance and direction, it's never an accident. So that being said, thank you so much for both for coming onto a platform. Like you said, y'all never collaborated, but yeah, so your topics were were united, and you totally brought a lot of great value, a lot of great knowledge, and a lot of great wisdom. And most of all, you help us to gain clarity on purpose and how to be able to identify it and what we can do while we're trying to identify it. So really thank y'all so much for taking time and effort into your broadcast. That being said, we're super excited about as we go towards the end of 100 Women in Business Tour. We're about to start our conference. So if y'all excited about this, we're about to start our conference. And so continue to stick with the network, the organization, plug in, get to know somebody in the network and organization. We're really women that love and care about what we do and the people we do it for. Again, you can keep track of us on marketherbrand.com. Coach Yvette, if you could tell them your website, and Joy, tell them your website as well.
My website is pattymart.com.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sunshine. And Coach Yvette, my website is joyzmedical.com.
Awesome. So if you can plug into any of these websites, you can keep track of what is happening within each and every entrepreneur, and you can connect to whichever network, to which entrepreneur definitely you need in this season. That's why we do this, so you can definitely say it's not that you're in business by yourself, but you're able to connect and know other people that want to see you succeed.
Also, Sunshine, I'm sorry. Also, if you have difficulty because the website is brand new, in transition, just link me up at Patty Mart on Instagram.
Good. Yes. Thank God for those different avenues. Well, you have. So you have again. They're going to be back again. I know I loved that. I loved it too. So I'm going to go back and listen to the replay. And so if you need a copy of the replay, just email us at support@marketherbrand.com. We'll definitely send you a replay. Well, again, thank y'all so much for being on broadcast. Thank you for all the value you bring. And until next time, y'all have a blessed night.
Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Joy.